ever listened back to your audio and thought, wow, that sounds nothing like real life? In this video, you and your future recordings are never going to have that problem again. Today, we're counting down the 7 best voice recorders you can buy right now. From solid budget options all the way to near set-and-forget recorders that handle almost everything for you. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly which recorder fits your style, whether you're podcasting, doing interviews, lecture notes, or grabbing sound on the street. 7. Tascam DR-05X. The Tascam, a classic handheld stereo recorder that has become a kind of entry-level standard for people getting serious about audio. It gives you 2 built-in omnidirectional microphones in an AB configuration, so it picks up sound in a broad pattern that feels very natural for conversations, ambience, and quick music ideas. There is a 3.5mm mic line input with plug-in power, so you can plug in a lav or a stereo mic and still keep the setup super compact. One thing that stands out when using the DR-05X is how forgiving it is for beginners. Features like auto recording, peak reduction, and a built-in limiter work quietly in the background to keep levels under control and prevent nasty clipping when someone suddenly laughs or raises their voice. The recorder supports WAV up to 96 kHz and records to micro SDXC cards up to 128 GB, which is more than enough for long interview days or event coverage. Battery life is solid as well, with up to around 17 hours of stereo recording on 2 AA batteries, and you can also power it via USB if you're stationary. In hand, the DR-05X feels simple and functional rather than premium. The screen is clear enough, and the quick menu button genuinely speeds up access to core features like low-cut filter, limiter, and auto level, so you're not digging endlessly through menus. The integrated speaker and headphone out make it easy to quickly check takes on location, which is a small thing you end up using constantly. 6. Zoom PodTrak P4. The Zoom is built from the ground up for podcasting and panel discussions. Instead of tiny built-in mics, you get 4 high-gain XLR inputs with phantom power, so you can plug in proper dynamic or condenser microphones and treat this like a portable studio. Each person gets their own independent headphone output with its own volume control, which instantly makes group recording smoother because nobody is sharing or fighting levels. What makes the PodTrak P4 stand out in real podcast use is its feature set around remote guests and show structure. There are 4 programmable sound pads that let you fire intros, outros, ads, or sound effects with one tap, which really speeds up your workflow and reduces editing later. You can bring in call-in guests over TRRS from a phone or via USB from a computer, and the built-in mix-minus processing automatically prevents those guests from hearing their own echo. That one feature alone makes remote interviews feel far more professional. In terms of recording, the P4 captures uncompressed 16-bit 44.1 kHz WAV files to SD, SDHC, or SDXC cards up to 512 GB, and can record each input source to its own isolated track, along with the stereo mix and sound pad tracks. Having separate tracks for each mic is a huge advantage when it comes time to clean up crosstalk, balance levels, or remove an unexpected cough from one guest. Zoom H1 Essential. Zoom's modern refresh of its ultra-popular pocket recorder line, the H1 Essential keeps the same basic concept, a very compact, lightweight body with an XY stereo microphone pair on top, making it a perfect always-with-you recorder for ideas, interviews, and location sound. It records in 32-bit float, which is a big move up from earlier entry-level recorders, and gives you a huge safety net when it comes to levels and dynamic range. In practice, that means you can focus more on the moment and less on constantly riding gain controls. Using the H1 Essential feels very straightforward. You drop in a microSD card, hit record, and you're capturing high-resolution audio up to 96 kHz. The onboard XY mics give you a nice stereo image that feels more focused than omnidirectional capsules, making it very usable for interviews at a small table or capturing stereo ambience like streets, parks, or rehearsals. The small size makes it easy to mount on a camera, slip into a shirt pocket, or throw in a bag as a backup recorder. Compared to the older H1N, the H1 Essential is more of an evolution than a radical redesign. It brings that 32-bit float recording, improved accessibility, and quality of life improvements. But the overall hardware and concept are very familiar. Some users actually find that the noise floor on the H1 Essential is lower than the H1N, especially in very quiet rooms, which is impressive at this price point. 4. Zoom H2N. This is one of the only portable handhelds that packs 5 built-in microphones and 4 different recording modes, including XY stereo, mid-side, 2-channel surround, and full 4-channel surround. In real use, that flexibility is game-changing because you can adapt the pickup pattern to almost any situation without adding external mics. Recording with the H2N feels like having a compact sound design lab in your hand. In XY mode, you get a very natural, localized stereo image that works brilliantly for music rehearsals, bands, or street performers. Switch to mid-side, and you can adjust stereo width after recording, which is fantastic when you're not sure how wide you want your ambience, or when you want to keep dialogue centered but still capture room tone. The surround modes allow you to capture 360-degree sound fields, making it handy for sound design, VR ambience, or just immersive location audio. Beyond the mic array, the H2N offers a thoughtful set of tools that make life easier in the field. There is an analog-style input gain control, auto gain, low-cut filter, and a compressor limiter built in, so you can tame dynamics without overthinking settings. It records directly to SDHC cards, up to 32 gigabytes, and supports up to 24-bit 96 kHz wave, giving you plenty of headroom and fidelity for serious work. Features like pre-record, auto-record, onboard tuner, metronome, and up to 99 marks per recording show that this device was clearly designed with working musicians and field recordists in mind. 3. Tascam DR-40X PodTrak. The Tascam is where handheld recording starts to feel truly professional without jumping into big, expensive rigs. It combines a pair of adjustable built-in condenser mics with 2 XLR TRS combo inputs, so you can record up to 4 tracks at once. For example, the built-ins plus 2 external mics. That mix of onboard and external inputs gives you serious flexibility for interviews, video shoots, music sessions, or podcast setups. The built-in mics can switch between XY and AB configurations, allowing you to choose between a tighter, more focused stereo image or a wider soundstage depending on the environment. The external XLR inputs provide phantom power, which means you can run full-size condenser microphones or trusted stage dynamics directly into the recorder without a separate interface. For creators who want one device that can handle on-camera audio today and a 2-mic podcast tomorrow, that flexibility is a huge advantage. In use, the DR-40X feels robust and confidence-inspiring. The body has a more serious, Pro Tool feel than entry-level units, and the menu system, while deeper, is still intuitive once you learn where key items live. Features like dual recording mode, automatic level control, limiter, low-cut filter, and peak reduction are all aimed at protecting your recordings from sudden level spikes or handling noise. It doubles as a USB audio interface, giving you a way to plug mics into your computer for live streaming or studio work using the same device you trust in the field. 2. Zoom H1N. This is a recorder that has become a go-to for beginners and working creators alike. At its core, the H1N offers a compact body with protected XY stereo condenser microphones on top, delivering up to 24-bit 96 kHz wave recording in a form factor that literally fits in your pocket. The mic cage helps reduce handling noise and offers some protection from accidental bumps, making it much more forgiving in real-world shooting or interview situations. Using the H1N, the first thing that stands out is how easy it is to operate. Dedicated buttons for transport controls, input level, low cut, and limiter mean you rarely need to dive into menus, which is a huge advantage when recording in the moment. The XY mic pair captures a clear, focused stereo field that works well for dialogue, vlogging, room tone, and quick music sketches. The recorder is light enough to mount on a camera or boom pole, and it's just as comfortable clipped on a stand or held in hand. From the sound quality perspective, the H1N punches above its size and price. You get proper 24-bit files at up to 96 kHz. Plus, useful tools like a built-in limiter and low-cut filter to manage plosives, rumble, and sudden peaks. In many tests and reviews, it is highlighted as a great first recorder for podcasters. 3. Tascam DR-40X PodTrak. The Tascam is where handheld recording starts to feel truly professional without jumping into big, expensive rigs. It combines a pair of adjustable built-in condenser mics with 1. Sony ICD-UX570. The Sony is a digital voice recorder that nails what most people actually need: clear voice capture, smart noise handling, and a design that makes recording effortless. It comes with 4 GB of internal memory, enough for up to around 59 hours of MP3 128 KB per second stereo recording, and also supports micro SD expansion if you need more space. The built-in S microphone system is tuned to capture distant or quiet sounds clearly while reducing background noise, which makes a huge difference in meetings, lectures, and interviews. In real use, the UX570 feels like it was built specifically for voice-first workflows. Auto voice recording mode optimizes settings for speech, cutting down low-level background noise and reducing the risk of losing words from poor mic sensitivity choices. There is also an auto music recording mode if you occasionally capture performances, which adjusts the input behavior to suit music instead of conversation. Features like Scene Select, VOR, voice-operated recording, and calendar search make organizing and finding your recordings far easier than with many handheld field recorders. The hardware experience is where Sony really pulls ahead. The enlarged OLED display is bright and readable, and the wider, brighter recording LED makes it instantly obvious when you are live, reducing the chances of thinking you're recording when you're not. The recorder has a built-in USB connector, so you can plug it directly into a computer for charging and file transfer without needing a separate cable. Final thought: that's all for today, folks.